on, everybody? I'm Liam Cogan. This is the 3 Bravo podcast, and today we're going to be doing a Veterans Benefits Breakdown. So the Veterans Benefits Breakdown, or VBB, is a 15-minute down and dirty into what I think are some of the best veterans benefits. We're going to get really far into the weeds. We're going to get into them all. But even with things like retail, I'm going to go from the high-level view to the low-level view. And today we're going to be going into Chapter 31 benefits, which is vocational readiness and employment. Previously vocational rehab, so if that's the name you know it by. And if you're getting out or if you're getting in, this is something that you should be learning. So no matter where you are in your military timeline, this is something that you should understand exists, because if you're going to make a proper transition, or you're going to make what I call the perfect transition, this is a huge part of your game plan. So what is it? Well, it's 48 months of school or education. So basically, it's a lot like the GI Bill. You're going to get BAH just like you would if you do the GI Bill after your active duty military service, and it's more schooling than the GI Bill. So a lot of people think, oh, well, maybe they draw from each other. They don't. Certain administrations have made them tap into each other. So under the Trump's last administration, the 2016 Trump's administration, the VRE, if used after the GI Bill drew from VRE. So you could take 36 months of the GI Bill out of VRE. Under Biden's administration, they reversed that and they don't touch each other. My recommendation is always going to be that you use VRE first. So let's just kind of break it down in what it is, who it's for, and then how to use it. So you've got 48 months of school, like I said earlier, for which the whole time you can earn BAH or MHA, which can be as high as, in downtown San Francisco, it can be about $4,000 a month, which is huge for your transition, especially while you're earning your degree and turning yourself into a capable applicant. So it was established in 1944 under the Servicemen's Readjustment Act, which is basically the same thing as the GI Bill. Guys were getting back from World War II, and they wanted to make all of these vets who served their country, they wanted to give them a path back into the workforce. So the difference between vocational rehab and employment and the GI Bill is that VRE is specifically designed to get disabled veterans back into the workforce. And that's not just through college, like what I've previously described, but that could be through vocational schools like welding, diving, a whole plethora of things that you could potentially do for work, right? Program management. So if you're looking to do a vocational program, this is without question exactly what you're looking for, because those can be expensive, $10,000, $20,000. But if you want to get more school, you want to get your first degree, your master's, your doctorate, depending on what you want to do with your career, you can use this benefit. So what's the catch and who's it for? If you were eligible for the GI Bill, you will also be eligible for VRE if you have 10% disability. So 10% disability gets you seen, gets you an interview for the program, and 20% disability will get you preference. And it doesn't go up to 30% is more preference, and people with 100% are guaranteed. It's just 10% disability gets you seen, and 20% gives you preference over people with just 10. There's some exceptions to be made, but if you apply within 12 years of your disability rating, so whenever you got rated for your disability, if you apply within 12 years of that, you can use this benefit. So if you're outside that zone, you can definitely petition it. You can go online. I'll post the link in the YouTube video here, and then in the podcast, look in the description. I'll have the link to the easiest way to find out if you can use this benefit is to just go and apply, and they'll respond to you and tell you what it is you have to do. And if you're curious, hey, they said this to me, I can't use it, what's my next course of action? Go to 3bravo.org, send us a message, and we'll get back to you and help you make a game plan for how to kind of get access to this benefit if this is something that you want to do. So you apply at the link. In the general process, you apply at the link. You go back and forth with like a vocational rehab counselor is what they're going to be called. And that's just your representative from Voc Rehab. You talk to your school administrator. So really the first thing you want to do is find what school you want to go to, if it's a vocational school or if it's like a regular undergrad graduate program. Find what school you want to go to, find what program you want to do, and then talk to vocational rehab. Apply, tell your counselor what you want to do and why you need to get that degree or that certificate to gain employment. That's important for this certain program. This is to gain employment. So if you've got your doctorate in business and you say, I want to get another degree, you have to tell them why you can't get employed with your doctorate in business and why you need this new degree to go on and gain successful employment somewhere else, right? So that's why you use VR&E first. Because if you use the GI Bill first, then you will have effectively made yourself look like a far better candidate than you would have been if you had just gotten straight out of the military and gone straight to VR&E. So go to VR&E first. And listen, you can do it any way you want. I'm just telling you without question the best way to do it. Go to VR&E first, use your 48 months of school, and then use your GI Bill, which will be completely untouched, and you can get a whole nother degree if you want it. And get paid while you're doing it. So we'll get into that in a second. So you pick out your school program, you talk to your vocational rehab counselor about why you need this, and then you're going to go back and forth with them, sign a couple documents, you'll talk to the school as well. And this is all just going to square you away between the two of them, right? It's just going to link your school up with your vocational rehab counselor, and then you'll go to school. It'll all be paid for. They pay for everything. You're not going to see money. There's going to be no transaction on your side. They're going to pay the school, and then the school is going to talk to you, and you'll tell them that you want a direct deposit. You have to tell your counselors or your school administrator, and then you get a direct deposit at the end of each schooling month, and only for the days you went to school. So this month of December, I didn't get paid for the week I didn't go to school because of Christmas break and the semester ended, right? So you get paid at the end of the month for that school month. Now, the best way to do this benefit, the best way to action this benefit, in my opinion, okay, like my perfect timeline for a veteran is to use tuition assistance while you're in the military, get your undergraduate, and then when you get out, seek your graduate degree through vocational rehab. Find a school near where you want to live that gives the most BAH, or what is called is monthly housing allowance in, GI Bill VR&E terms. But it's just BAH. They're paying you a basic housing allowance. Find the best program near you that will pay the most. So if you're going to a school that's kind of in the sticks and that's closest to your house, you might want to think of the school that's closest to the biggest city near you. So if I live in nowhere, Ohio, I might want to go to, Ohio State University, which is downtown Columbus, which is the fastest growing city in Ohio. And it's going to have a high BAH rate because people want to live there. So think about taking a drive to go to that class. Now, here's the other part. Yeah, you're thinking right now, well, I don't want to drive to my classes every single day. Here's the great thing. You can take every single one of your classes online except for one. And that one last class you can take as a hybrid. That hybrid class, you only have to show up, generally speaking, at least for my degree plan and others that I've seen, about once a semester. So you're talking about going as an in-person student. So you get in-person BAH rates. And you only have to go once a semester. So that's like 2.5 weeks, or 2.5 months. So if you play this out right, you could be showing up once every 2.5 months. You could be getting the highest BAH rate in your state or all the states around you, and you can be getting your degree at the same time. So that's VRE. That's also the GI Bill. But if you do VRE first and then the GI Bill, you're looking at 46 months plus 36 months of school, right? I mean, you're talking about a ton of basically cushion between your military time to transitioning into the civilian world. That's what your service afforded you. That's what you earned. So as long as you know this benefit, you can use it. If you have any questions, go to 3bravo.org, send us a message. I will personally guide you through this process if I have the time to, or one of my associates will. This benefit is one of the greatest benefits that you can use to move on from the military to the active civilian community. If you follow my program, you go from TA, you use your VA home loan, you use VRE, and then you use your GI Bill. You're looking at a couple of years of cushion time while you're figuring out the civilian world. You're figuring out if you want to run a business, if you want to do this. We don't have time to think in the military. We don't have time to action great plans for our futures. You're being guided along by carrot and stick for your entire career. And then you're just shoved out into the civilian world, because once you're off command books, they don't care about you. You're in the way if you're asking for too much. So you're off in the civilian world. This is the path to success. Get a degree. You may have been a special operations forces operator. You may have been the baddest dude in the world, but no one cares until you do what they did and you go show that you're a professional. Get a degree, get a master's, maybe even a doctorate if you need it. But once you get those checks in the boxes, your resume is going to look far better. You're going to look far better in interviews, because people understand that you're not only that special person that went out and did XYZ in the military, you're a squared away person and a professional civilian. Go get your degree, get paid while you do it. Take a wrap off from the military. Seriously, this is like so important to do, and it's really hard to figure out how to do. Get out, take a wrap off, take some classes, get paid while you're doing it. All of your classes can be online except for one hybrid. And when you show up to that one hybrid class in person, it should be at the highest paying BAH in your state. Make the money that you need to support your family and yourself. If you need to get a job while you're doing it, that's fine. But build some cash cushion. Take your time, get your degrees, get a better job, start a business, live your life. Veteran success is the name of the game. I'm Liam Kogan. This is the 3 Bravo podcast, and this was the Veterans Benefit Breakdown of Chapter 31 Benefits, Vocational Readiness and Employment. See y'all later.